Perfect. Also, Meiling doesn't know that I'm doing this. Hi, everybody.
Oh.
Welcome to the second to last episode of Altadena Ghost Hunters.
Yes, the last one is very special.
The last one is next week. It's going to be on YouTube, so stay tuned. We've compiled all of our research, and we went and we really did the thing.
And a real ghost extravaganza.
Yeah, we stayed overnight. Not really.
We
stayed late into the night.
Yeah, late into the night.
In Altadena at the library to see if we could catch some ghosts.
Into every creepy crevice.
And you will find out if we did or not.
Every haunted elevator.
Every haunted elevator in this library, there is only one elevator.
And it's haunted.
Maybe. You don't know. You're going to have to watch the episode to find out.
Honestly, I don't even know.
Jerry's out.
I was pretty rattled.
Okay, hello. I am Isabel, the teen librarian.
I'm Aaron.
We are here to share our thoughts on our final piece of ghost hunting equipment that's available for checkout. Yeah, you got the rolly chair. There you go. The EMF meter, or the ghost meter, as it says on the front there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right there.
When this thing came in the mail, I thought, this is from the dollar store.
That's what you thought? Or that's where it came from?
That's what I thought.
Okay.
It does not look very professional. But
Well, it's translucent, like I imagine cartoon ghosts being.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
It's wearing the clothes.
It's wearing the trappings of a ghost. Let's review.
It does look like when I was a little kid and I broke open the speak and spell and that was what was
If
inside.
this would come in the bottom of a box of cereal.
Yes, a really big, unhealthy box of cereal.
Like a family-sized box of cereal.
Yeah, Super Blastos.
Count Chocula.
Chocula?
For the spookiness.
What was the ghost one name?
Was there a ghost
Was
cereal?
there? Oh my god.
I don't know.
Is this the Berenstain Bears? I'm just false remembering ghost cereal.
Berenstain Bears. So, to recap, we've done Ouija boards.
Ouija boards.
That was the last time Aaron was here.
Yeah. I
Need
a few weeks to recover.
That was a very alarming experience. Once we thought that the cameras had stopped rolling, they were still rolling. We're ready to go back. So go watch that video if you haven't watched that.
Yeah.
Then dowsing rods, went to the Cobb Estate.
Yeah, I was able to watch that one.
I thought that one was pretty fun. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah. And you had really good light there, I'll just say that.
I'm constantly searching for the natural light. Then we did
the natural light and the unnatural presences.
Oh, I guess I'm good at this.
Sorry.
Then we did the PSP7 Spirit Box at Gravity Hill.
Yeah, how was
that was a weird experience. I felt off there. I just felt a little weird. I got there and I was like, it's just this random stretch of road. There was a red sunset that evening.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So it was weirdly red out. There was a boy sweeping dirt and a dog barking, and I was like, oh.
Oh, that's really
If you're the boy who was sweeping dirt and you're watching this video,
you're not weird.
If you're not weird, keep on doing what you're doing. I was just having a weird moment there, and I was sitting in my car, and it was hot, and I'm listening to this the weird radio box. It was just and then the video was super weird. It was a whole.
Yeah, it went straight to Confusion Town on the connection there. It was
I rewatched it and I was like, this is a found footage horror movie.
No, it was seriously it was kind of spooky though.
It was a little weird. The energy there is interesting. But I didn't really get a lot from the spirit box.
No.
I'm a little iffy on the spirit box. We'll recap all of our thoughts eventually. But so now we're on to the last piece, which is the EMF meter. So I did a little bit it's on right now. So if you hear, I'm going to turn off the volume. If you hear beeps,
then it's detecting what?
It's detecting something. Okay.
Electromagnetic some frequencies.
Yeah. All right. So here's my research on EMF. Stands for electromagnetic field.
Oh, fields. Yeah, that's what
Spectrum. So the electromagnetic spectrum. This was taking me back to class.
Oh wow.
Do you need to come in and get something?
No, I'll come back.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be done soon. That was my boss. She didn't know that we were doing this. She was in a meeting.
No.
There you go.
It's
Just
all
a little bit of library life, you know?
Yeah, it's happening. Life and afterlife.
Maybe she left her phone down here. Whatever, it's fine. Okay, so this took me back to like science class because I was like, I don't remember all this stuff. But like the electromagnetic spectrum is so like radio,
Mm-hmm.
microwaves,
Wi-Fi.
infrared,
I think the colors are
visible light
yeah,
is right in the
visible light.
middle. Then you have UV rays, X-rays, gamma rays. So like that's the electromagnetic
okay.
spectrum. And radio waves have the lowest like so they're like the widest rays, you know? Like remember that image of like
It's like a shortwave radio
yeah.
type thing?
And then like gamma rays are the shortest.
Okay. So they're all, yeah, okay. Is that why like shortwave radio is like so big you can like that's why in the back in the old days you could like catch it
Really?
from across the country, like even like
Yeah.
you could get like Japanese long wave radio,
Maybe.
shortwave radio, sorry.
Because it's like the
Because it would
strongest.
like, and it would bounce off of like the ionosphere
Oh,
and stuff. So
interesting.
it would be kind of stuck in the.
Okay.
In
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Don't
I
spread
think-
misinformation
I
on the
think-
library Instagram.
I wish I'd done my reference desk work for that
We'll
one.
check
but-
that out later. But like right, so you can measure the length of the wave or the frequency of the wave.
Yeah, those are like the two characteristics.
Right, like length and speed. So EMF, I'm a little confused here. Like this was a little hard to figure out. So this is only picking up a very small range of electromagnetic waves.
Mm-hmm.
So from about 50 hertz to 20,000.
Oh yeah,
I think it's
2 kilohertz.
no, that's 1,000. That's K for 1,000.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying to read my notes.
2 kilohertz.
So like
50 to 2,000.
this is
hertz.
only so there's that whole big electromagnetic spectrum. This is only picking up a very small amount of that electromagnetic spectrum.
Uh-huh.
So, and it's something that was sort of debunked as well. It's like it's not picking up Earth's electromagnetic spectrum because Earth has a
Oh.
stable wavelength
Oh,
or something
okay.
like that.
Okay, like the magnetic core of
So
the
like
Earth.
I can't use this to like read the electromagnetic waves put off by the poles or whatever.
Oh, like a compass would read
Yeah,
north from
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
electromagnetic field of the Earth. Okay.
But what it does read is it can read electromagnetic frequencies coming off of devices, so electrical devices,
So it's in that range of like common household type.
or supposedly spirits.
Okay, I guess. Are you skeptical on this one?
Okay, well, so here there are two theories. I'm wearing like my thickest mask today, so I'm like shouting through this thing, trying to enunciate. Okay, so there are two theories about how it works.
Biggest mask.
Why? It's so silly. Okay,
Sorry.
so one idea is that ghosts or spirits
Mhm.
disrupt the ambient electromagnetic fields.
Okay, so it's not okay. I
So
kinda
like
dig
all
that.
houses and homes that have electrical wiring or whatever, or buildings, have an ambient field.
So yeah, so you can think of it as like
'Cause
an
there's-
invisible version of the light that is in around.
Right, like
it's
the
a stable
computers
sort of environment of different fields.
are
of
just
electricity.
sending a
Okay.
little bit of it out.
Okay.
But
okay.
like you're only gonna detect it when you're really close to a device. So like I'm gonna demonstrate if you can hear this. So like here's my laptop. So that is picking up the electromagnetic frequencies that are coming from that electrical device. So the idea is that like ghosts they disrupt this ambient field that's created by all the
Okay.
electricity. And they use
So
that
they're
to
like an
communicate.
Oh, they use the communication.
That's
It's
how they are
intentional?
communicating. However, there's
So it's sort
a
of
debunk
like,
here.
Oh, okay.
because there are two theories, and neither of them are perfect. So if spirits can only
When you
use
say it's like, is your understanding like it's like the medium through which they,
right
like as we communicate
Yes.
through sound
Yes.
through the air, or
they
vibration through the
communicate
air
through the ambient
Okay.
EMF
So think of it like that.
EM
maybe?
field. But
Okay.
but the counter argument to that is like this would not work then if we went out into the middle of nowhere. Like, we would get nothing from this. Or if we went underground or something. Like, if we were in some place that had zero ambient electromagnetic waves, then we would get nothing from it. But maybe not. I don't know. So that's one theory.
Okay.
The second theory is that ghosts or spirits create their own electromagnetic field.
Okay,
So because this is based on the idea that your brain like your synapses produce a small
you have a very
amount.
small, you have an electric current in your
Yes,
body.
like a very small amount. And
obviously that's going to change as your neurons fire off to that.
And that doesn't go away when you pass away. So when your body passes away, the electromagnetic field of your mind still exists.
I've heard this before.
But then the counter argument to that is like,
I'm just
like nothing's going on. You can point it at your head and nothing comes up. No, it's because your brain produces such a low frequency.
Guys, I'm an automaton.
No, I gotcha.
Just a clockwork machine.
I'm sorry.
Been cranked up every day since 1645 when a guy named Giuseppe created me.
It just beeped.
Uh-oh,
But see, that's the thing. So that's where I think this is interesting, is that sometimes, and we've used this before when we went ghost hunting, it just beeps. And you're not near a computer. It'll just give off a little blip. So what is that? Is that...
And it's not a gamma ray because it doesn't read gamma rays.
No. Like, is that a ghost, a little ghost just like passing through the field? Or is it trying to, because we are also in a room filled with computers and that probably has a stronger electromagnetic field, is it using that to communicate? Like if we went out into the middle of a field, would we get any blips? I don't know.
And if you did, that would be pretty surprising, right? I mean, that would definitely be like, what? We're not in...
Exactly. So it's like, I don't really...
We're not in here in wiring central, so what is happening?
So like the history, so I tried to also, so that's like, that's the theory that I read on like a website that seemed pretty reliable.
As legit as such things get.
Right. I mean, the question is like, what is the relationship between this and the paranormal, like paranormal investigation? Like, how did this become used?
Okay.
And so what I found is that like a lot of, there's been some research, and in some sites that have histories of hauntings, there are electromagnetic anomalies. So like people have gone
like
to like
genuine like
haunted
outside
castles.
you mean like outside of even ghost hunting type?
So there's like, there's literally like a study published about this where they went to these two castles in Scandinavia, and they're like, there are histories of haunting-y things happening in some of these rooms, and we went into those rooms and there was a complete electromagnetic anomaly. Like there was no electricity, there was like the ambient field was not like, so what is creating that? And that can be caused by like a lot, I mean maybe different lots of things, I don't know.
I don't know, but it sounds cool to go to a Scandinavian castle with like an EMF meter. I'm kind of down with that.
So like, I think what I read was that like this exists in ghost hunting really as a like sort of like
one way to like
catch-all or like a debunker. So if you get some sort of weird thing, it's like, well, hold on. Let's pull out the EMF meter. Are we feeling some weird things or experiencing some weird things because there is an electromagnetic like field around here that can be explained or not explained, you know?
As a way to like get some kind of data. Sort of maybe like just there's like the baselines and it's something measurable, right?
It's something measurable. And if you're getting a reading on this, then you can say, all right, well, let's go into the walls. Let's see if there's like a big clump of wires here, or is there some other device here? It's like, it's a tool by which to like measure other things against, sort of.
Like so, as in contrast with like the Ouija board, which is not it's all a sensation. It's a sensory experience.
I think
like this has a
and of all the things
quantitative.
Right. Of all the things we've looked at, like this is the thing that's giving you the most, like it is reading actual electromagnetic frequency, even though it looks like something from the dollar store, like it is doing that more than, like the Ouija or the dowsing or even the spirit box, like, yeah, it is picking up radio channels, but like, it's up to you to interpret what you're
Yeah.
hearing there, versus this is like, if it blips randomly,
Yeah, it's not.
like, that's really happening. There is really some sort of weird phenomenon happening.
There's an EMF occurrence of some kind.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's up now. I guess the skill of the ghost, and what are we going to call it? The ghost hunter in this scenario. It's their skill in interpreting what that may or may not mean in the
Yes.
context of their
Experience.
search for.
Yeah. And I think it's like a good tool to have in companion with other things. So like,
yeah, no, it's definitely. I can definitely see how it's like, alongside the other ones you've looked at, like
it's not going to give you a lot on its own, right? But if
Right.
you're like, you put it all together, as you'll see in our video that's coming out next week, like you put it all together, and if maybe you're doing Ouija and you have this on, and then if you get a weird blip at some point, you're like, okay, I can put that together with what was happening in this moment. Like, it's just creating like another layer, you know?
And it's no spoilers here, but it could lead you into furthering your investigation in a more directed way.
Right. So maybe you're like walking. So I've walked all around the library with this, and I've been able to identify like hot spots of like the switchboard with all of the light switches for the library
Mhm.
sends this crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a ghost. But then sometimes I'm just holding it and it just goes beep, and that's it. Or
Okay.
sometimes you're holding it up near something and you're like, I can't tell what's there. Is there something behind the wall here? Is there something in this corner? We don't know. Let's investigate further. Pull out the other tools, you know?
I can see this sort of ending with you wearing a hat every day that has this
And you just gotta walk around, carry it around, just see what's out there. So yeah, that is the EMF meter.
Just a friendly little thing. It's only there to help you out.
Right. So Aaron, this is my final question on
Okay.
this our last live Ghost Hunters video.
Very sad.
I know.
Taking over from the sadness.
The
I
end
will
of an
answer
era.
your question.
Okay, so my question is,
Mm-hmm.
ghosts, yes or no?
For me, I would say yes. But I will also say I'm not sure that it's something that obtains to the material, even as all the tools we might have, it might not be something that we can apprehend with
Mm.
even our finest
Yeah.
devices or technologies, whether they're, a dowsing rod or an EMF meter or it's something always just out of reach.
Yes.
I guess that's my take on it. I think it's something that you have a feeling about, and it's something that doesn't necessarily require evidence.
I think that's a really good point. I think yes too, but also with the caveat that like, I think it's a thing that human experience
Tells us a lot.
tells us exists, but it is never like, it's not something that can be caught. Like I don't think that it can be.
So you don't feel ever be like the book that shows like.
Like I don't
not
know if
like
I
a,
necessarily.
I feel like maybe in comparison to like a UFO. UFO is also.
I think we could catch a UFO.
And then you could imagine like a book that says like, here's all the evidence that here's UFOs and these
Sure.
are. But that book, like if you're thinking like me, there's not that book or ever will be
For ghosts.
For ghosts.
I think that like I have family members and friends who have had
Yeah, no, me
like
too.
experiences that are unexplainable, and if that is a phenomenon of our mind or a phenomenon of the world, we will never know. But like it is a phenomenon that happens, but I don't.
It's worth exploring too.
And I think it is worth exploring. Like this
Exactly.
is interesting. This is like a way.
And this
of,
is also the very tip of the spectral iceberg, I guess you could say. Right? It's like.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you've shown all of these things that
Learn it together.
they help you
Start to sort of pick
lift
apart.
the veil a little bit.
Yes,
But there's
like-
so much more, and there's so much more you
Yeah,
can find
yeah.
on your own, and even through. I think works of fiction are also helpful in giving you different perspectives on how you might understand these phenomena for yourself
Yeah.
better.
And I think ghosts can sort of exist in, pardon my 2020 parlance, but like ghosts can exist in a vibe Like I think that places can be haunted not because there's ever a specter there, but they are haunted by like an energy and a vibe, and that can be good or bad. But
Ghosts are a whole vibe.
ghosts are a vibe. Is that our thesis?
I think it's really good.
I think we boiled it down to the essential.
Yes, the essential ghostiness has been distilled.
Ghosts are just a vibe, and like this picks up on some electromagnetic vibes. Dowsing rods. I think my favorite was the dowsing rods.
Yeah.
I think that felt like the most like whoa kind of weird.
I mean, I think if we had more time, we could maybe. Whoa. I mean, what? Or you missed it. Didn't even see it down there. That's too
Did
bad.
you hear it though? It just went. There's nothing here. It's
This
a
is
table.
a table.
It's
This
a
is
table with
nothing.
my notepad on it. There's nothing else there.
Okay, that's like a really good. Are we done? You think
I
that's
think
enough?
that's it.
I mean, that's
I don't
great.
think we
Like,
have anything else to say.
I mean, no.
Y'all,
Thank you so much.
also Dina, thank you so much for watching. The last episode is going to be on YouTube. It will not be on Instagram Live unless I can figure out a way to upload it. I don't know. It's going to be really fun. It's us and a coworker. It's going to be next Thursday. It'll come out. Please stay tuned. I'll post the link everywhere I can possibly find to post it.
You wanna let us know like anything else you wanna like take a look at or going forward?
Absolutely.
You know?
Check out the Discord server for teens,
Do
or like just come chat with us. Wednesdays 3 to 5. We're always on there. Free for a chat. Some banter. Some good banter.
Silly
I'm
bastard.
sorry. I don't know what's happening. We got a reading.
We got a reading. Who knows? It's the EMF.
We've been just babbling for half an hour now.
That's good. No.
I think
good
we
job, everyone.
we
Thank
leave you with that. Thank you everyone for joining.
Go Dows.
Go down.
Go
Yeah,
EMF.
stay tuned for the Library of
What
Things
was that
Ghost
one called?
Hunting Kit. Yeah,
It's gonna be fun.
it'll be
Thanks,
fun.
guys.
All right. Peace out.